Hey everybody, what's up? How are you guys today? How you doing? Thank you for joining as always. I know not a lot of people watch these Q&As because who the hell wants to ask goddamn questions? But here I am, as always, every 15 days. I was counting yesterday and I noticed that I have 36, I think it's 36 Q&As done in my entire YouTube career. 36! Wow! I know it's not the big achievement or anything, but I just found it. I think it's a curious number, 36. Oh yeah. There you go, some Final Fantasy VIII music, because Final Fantasy VIII is nowadays a really popular game that everybody loves, alright? Kind of funny, I should make a video about that one day. That's a good idea, games, top 10 JRPGs that used to be very popular and beloved, and nowadays everybody hates them, or they are not so beloved. Final Fantasy VIII will definitely be the first one. Absolutely. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jokes aside, I'd like to start by saying the new benefit for members, and I'd like to explain a little bit about that. And if you have any questions about that later, feel free to ask them. If you want to ask about this in half an hour, I'll explain everything again, don't worry. I'll be repeating myself, the entire stream a few times, not just the entire stream. Hey, Skycatcher Gaming, thanks for joining. You will be an example of what I'm about to say today. So, what's a member? A member is exactly why Mr. Skycatcher Gaming is right there. It's, in this video, the one you're watching right now, right below, there's the subscribe button, right? And then there's the bell, and the thank you, and the like and dislike buttons. There's a button that says join, okay? You guys see that? You can see that button, right? Alright, so a lot of people don't know what that is, even though it's been there for years. So this is something that I started 2 years ago. I've been using this service 2 years ago. You click that button, and it lets you join a membership. The membership automatically gives you a badge and your name in green or color letters like Tiaku Lounge right there, or Skycatcher Gaming gives you that. So whenever you see those people and you're like, why are those people highlighted like that? It'll be because they are members. They clicked on the join button, and when you click that button, it leads you to the payment options, and what you're gonna get. I think it's $2 a month. Okay, $2. It may be a little bit less or more depending on where you live. It's probably plus taxes, because, America! And so it's taxes. And I only get 70% of that for every $2 that you guys put in your membership. I only get $1.30. So you're probably wondering, why am I going to add a new benefit for members and not for Patreons? We'll get to that in a bit. I'll explain that in a bit. Alright. So, what do you get? 2 years ago, I started this service, and what people were getting, for $2 a month, this is $2 a month. What they were getting was, sometimes when I do my Let's Plays, you've probably noticed that every time I do a Let's Play, I don't know, Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicle, Let's Play Eric Landon Plays, I call them that way, Eric Landon RPG Plays, Xenoblade, those videos, they usually disappear after a while, right? Well, in reality, they don't disappear. I just leave them for I do the live stream, and 2 or 3 hours later, maybe until the next day, I don't remove them, I don't delete those videos. I put them unlisted, okay? Make them unlisted so you can't see them on my YouTube, on my videos section on YouTube. But they are all, on a playlist. You go to the playlist section of my YouTube channel and you'll see those Let's Plays in there. Oh, there it is. My full playthrough that I'm doing right now on Tales of Berseria is right there. I mean, you go to my video section, you're not gonna find it, but it's right there on the playlist. Everybody can see that. You guys can watch those videos whenever you want. But there are some types of videos, especially when I stream games that are not RPGs. They are not in that playlist, are they? They seem to disappear forever. They don't disappear. Hey, Oscar! Oscar, thanks for joining, man. So they don't disappear. what happens is that they are exclusive to these members that I'm talking about. So this used to be the benefit for members paying $2 a month. You get a badge like, you know, Tiaku Lounge here on the chat in Skycatcher Gaming, and you get your name highlighted. You know, that's automatic. And you also get access to these videos forever. You know, you're always gonna be able to watch them. But I always thought yes, that's a Deftones t-shirt. Thanks, man. Deftones. So I always wondered, you know, that I just cared way more about Patreon than the membership. And I feel like I've overlooked it a lot for the past 2 years. Like, that's not a real benefit, because I do these streams, these Let's Plays that turn into members, exclusive streams for members, you know, they aren't that many. There's like one every 2 months. So I was like, man, I gotta do something about this, right? So what I'm gonna do, I've been doing for a while, I've been wanting to do for a while, certain type of videos in this channel that I can't do. We'll get to why in a bit. And then I know, and I'm not holding this against you, it's normal. I just know for a fact most of you are not going to be interested in watching those videos. You know, it's just the type of content that most of my viewers, some of you included, you know, just don't want to watch, don't care for those videos. That's okay, you know, you're not going to watch a video about a game or about a topic you don't care about, you know, we all do that, you know. Some of my favorite YouTubers upload videos that I don't watch because I just don't care. So it's normal, don't worry about it, I'm not holding this against you. But I still like to do this type of content. What type of content I'm talking about? Well, they're more like live unscripted reviews. And I'm gonna use one as an example. I did a little bit of a test with this video, and it proved my point. And I don't know if you guys remember, some of you don't. Some of you were there, some of you probably do remember this video. It was when I made a live stream. It was a 40-minute long video, 45 minutes I think, about when I beat Matador in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Okay, I made a video. Remember, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe. 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago when I did that video on how I beat that boss, that particular boss that had been bothering me for as long as I can remember. So I made a live stream about that, and then obviously the video was a huge failure, right? And usually when I do the Eric Landon RPG plays this game or that game, or like Q&A streams like this one, they always get like 2,000 views, 1,500, you know, 3,000 if I'm lucky, but that's the usual. Those numbers are, you know, I've been getting those numbers forever, so that's normal. But for a video like the Matador video, it's not really normal. I mean, I get it, it's a 45-minute long video. Who the fuck is gonna watch that? You know, it's just Eric beating Matador. Why does the guy need 45 minutes to that? Well, I do. I fucking do. And that's what I would love to do, you know, just talk about games that I've been playing. For example, I recently rage quit in this game. Fuck this game, man! But I want to talk about this game. This is Earthlock, an indie RPG most of you probably don't give a rat's ass about. And that's okay. If you don't care about this game, okay, you know, whatever, you know. Can you see the game? Is it getting, you know, the light? There you go. So, okay, so this is a game that I want to talk about. I want to make an entire video about this game. And I'm not gonna sit down for 10 minutes like I usually do with most of my reviews, 10 to 15 minutes to talk about it. I have a lot to say about this game. And usually when I do those videos, you know, the Scarlet Nexus review, the Shin Megami Tensei 5 review, the Xenoblade Chronicles, the Final Fantasy VII Remake that I did, I usually call them, we need to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. You've seen those videos. And I every time I rehearse those videos, every time I sit down and record those videos, I end up with like 20 plus minutes of footage of me just talking about them, and I always cut them because I know most of you like to watch my videos from 10 to 20 minutes long, no matter the type of video. Those are the types of videos I've gotten all of you used to. You know, sometimes 8 minutes, sometimes 9 minutes, sometimes 24 minutes, 23, but it's usually between 10 and 20 minutes, right? So I usually try to keep those reviews down to that amount of time. So what I want to do with these memberships, you click the join button. I'm gonna do these reviews live because I want to talk about games that most of you don't care about, And if I leave these videos public, because you're probably wondering, why not just make them public? You know, you're gonna make you're gonna make revenue because of the ads. The truth is, I barely make any money out of the reviews. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Top 10 things you didn't know about. Even some of the regular vlogs, you know, sometimes, you know, I make more money out of them. But reviews, there's not a lot of money in there. But you know what? It's not that much about the money. It's because I really want to do this, and I can't leave these videos public because of the freaking algorithm. If I start uploading videos that are not successful, that are only getting like 5,000 views, 6,000 views, now YouTube's gonna automatically think, I mean the algorithm, the evil algorithm is gonna automatically think that, oh, right now this channel is unsuccessful, so I'm not gonna recommend this channel, and I'm not gonna recommend this channel to the ad companies. So you see how fucked up the system is? So I came up with a solution. I've been thinking about this for months. I've been planning this for months until I finally said, you know what, these videos, there's not a lot of interest on YouTube. You know, most of you guys are not gonna watch them, which is okay. So what am I gonna do with these videos? You know, I'm gonna give them to members, to people who will say, okay, I wanna pay $2 a month so I can watch Eric rant about this fucking game. Or about talking about another game, you know. I want to talk about the games that I've been playing. I've been trying to do that for years, and I can't because there's just not enough interest. However, you know, I will leave public the videos that are about JRPGs that are kind of big, okay? Like the Triangle Strategy video that I did. That was the last review that I did. Well, the last one was Shin Megami Tensei 3. But now that video is exclusive to members. If you go into my channel right now and look for that video, type Eric Landon Matador or Eric Landon Shin Megami Tensei 3, whatever, you know, you're not gonna find it because that video is now exclusive to members. Only members can watch that video. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do these videos live, and the moment they're over, I know this is a little bit in your face. I know that I apologize in advance, but this is the only way to do business with these types of videos. I'm sorry. And when the moment they're over, the moment the stream is over, they will be automatically only watchable by members. What do you need to do to become a member? Just click the join button and you get like a beautiful badge. It makes you special. You can watch these videos. That's it. That's it, guys. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Oh, okay. So you're probably gonna wonder why not do this on Patreon. Okay, thank you, Darth Nacho. He says, just jumped in, super excited about Falcom Retro announcement. What announcement? What happened? What are you talking about? Well, let me finish and we'll talk about that. I don't know what you're talking about. What announcement? Well, welcome, Nate Esquega. I ain't even mad about it. Some people will be, you know. You know how they are, but that's okay. You know, I know if my favorite YouTuber was telling this to me, I would be like, you know, but I get it. But it's the only way for me to make money out of these freaking videos that I really want to do, right? Because I know most people are just not used to watching 15-minute long reviews. But I do have a lot to say about certain videos of certain games. But for example, and I gave you an example. This is a game most of you don't give a shit about. And you know what? You shouldn't. That's all I'll say. But if I ever make a review about Tales of the Abyss, okay, I know a lot of people are gonna watch that video, so this is a video that I'll probably leave, you know, I'll probably do a 10 to 15 minutes review video called We Need to Talk About Tales of the Abyss, and it'll be public, don't worry. But if I want to talk about freaking Earthlock or Chaos Wars, you know, most people don't care about those games, so if you care about those games, you know, join. Alright, so let me explain why, because you're probably wondering why are you not gonna do this on Patreon? Why not do this on Patreon too? Because if I put a video as private or as for exclusive to members, when you upload a video to YouTube, most of you probably already know this. When you upload a video on YouTube, you have 5 options. 1, to make it public. 2, to make it unlisted. Nobody can watch the video, it does not appear on your videos section, but if someone has the link, they can watch it. There's private. Private, the only you, the YouTuber, the uploader, can watch the video. Nobody, absolutely nobody else can watch it. Even if you give the link to someone, that someone won't be able to watch the video. And if you the fourth one is members only, which is pretty similar to private, except you are making it available only to members who click the join button and are paying a certain amount of money per month. And the last one is premiere, which is the same as public. When you click on public, it gives you the option to make a premiere. It's on real time. It isn't exactly live, but it's on real time. I previously did this with my top 50 town themes and overworld themes. Some of you were there. So why am I not gonna do this on Patreon? Is because I have no way of doing that. I want these videos to be exclusive to people who are paying for them and for people who care about them. And if I put them on Patreon, patrons are not gonna be able to watch them because they're gonna be on private. And if I make them unlisted, someone's bound eventually to steal that link and post it on Reddit so people can watch it for free. Remember when I said number 2 is unlisted, and anybody with the link, anybody in this planet, can watch the video for free. So that's not fair, right? So I'll think of something, for you guys who don't want to join here on YouTube and who want this type of exclusive content for Patreon. I'll think of something. I promise, don't worry, I'm working on it. But for now, I can't think of anything. I can't work that around. Maybe I can do 2 videos and, if only Patreon had their own video player, but they don't. And we've been asking Patreon to do that for years. So we can make videos exclusive for Patreon, so we don't have to upload them to YouTube or to, I don't know, Dailymotion or to whatever, all of those video services out there. But the truth is, they all work the same way. You have the link, you can post it on Reddit, you can post it anywhere if you want to, and everybody will be able to watch it. So what about the people who are paying money for that? That's not fair. So that's why I don't have this feature right now on Patreon. To those of you who are patrons, I'm sorry. I promise I'll figure something out. I'm working on it. For now, this is exclusive for members here on YouTube. Click the join button and you'll be able to watch me talking about these reviews, gameplay footage included. It's not just gonna be my damn face. Just like the one I did with Shin Megami Tensei 3. And that's it, guys. Thanks a bunch. Can we talk about the Falcom announcement now? Hey Glenn, do you have a Discord? I could put that Falcom article in. Oh, my Discord is exclusive to patrons. It's been that way forever. Guys like me, we do get a lot of toxicity around us. A lot of jerks, a lot of haters, a lot of trolls, which is normal, so my Discord is private, I'm sorry. That one is an exclusive feature for patrons. Anyway, thanks a bunch, everybody. If you have any questions about this new benefit, feel free to ask. Sure, Darth. Yeah, just put the link in the chat. Don't worry. Put it there, I think a lot of people want to see, like, what is this about? From Moscow. Hey, Tally. What are you currently playing? Well, I'm not playing this anymore because I rage quit, so I went back to Shantae. Shantae is, it's probably in the back. I can't find it. Oh, there he is. Oh, shit, man. We all have this problem, don't we? We all have this problem. I think you identify with that problem. Putting games like this on top of them and you pull one game out and they all fall. That's when you start running out of space. That's when you start thinking, man, I need a new shelf. This game. This is, I'm loving this game. It's so addictive. It's one of my favorite platformers of all time. Shantae, Half Genie Hero. So, the article says that Falcom would like to bring more Trails games to modern consoles. Okay, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that because I've seen a lot of people mad over the years with NIS America. And they don't seem to understand why NIS America takes too damn long to localize the Trails games or any other Falcom game. And I'm not here to defend NIS America, but I kinda am. I just want you to see both sides. You know, as a fan, it's a little bit upsetting that Japan already got, I don't know, the latest Trails game, and we're gonna have to wait like 3 freaking years, right? And they already got ports and remasters of Trails in the Sky, Trails from Zero, years ago, like 5-6 years ago, and we finally gonna get them, after so damn long. So what's going on, I think, is that I think the people who are complaining about this are not considering that NIS America is a company that's not dedicated to Trails. They have a shit ton of RPGs and video games of all genres that they want to localize. And NIS America is not Square Enix. The guys aren't rich. The guys don't have 10,000 subdivisions, dedicated to localizing every single video game in existence. NIS America, Square Enix, fuck, it's hard to compare. So when people say, oh man, NIS America takes too damn long to bring the games, yes they do, and I think they probably shouldn't take that long because, for example, Zero no Kiseki, which is called Trails from Zero, they're gonna use the translation somebody else already did. So that's when you start thinking, why are they taking so long to localize a game that's already been translated? And they're going to use the very same translation the guys from Geofront used. That's inexcusable. That's when I agree with you guys. When people say, they're taking too long, they're taking too fucking long. If NIS America is going to localize a game from scratch, then I get it. They have 30 games working on at the moment. They're not gonna localize every single one of them in 6 months, so I get it. That's in favor of NIS America. But when they already have the freaking translation, and a modern translation, it's kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? Somebody already did the job for them. They need to do a lot of decoding, put all of that translation in their own version. But is that something that really takes years to do? That's what we don't know, and that's why people are pissed off at NIS America, and have been for a while. Is Suikoden 5 a 70 hours game? I've beaten that game, Suikoden 5, 4 times in my life. 4 times. 3 times I did all the recruitment. Only once I got the bad ending. I didn't recruit all characters and I got the bad ending. Like Suikoden 2. That level of bad ending. And but if you recruit the 108 Stars of Destiny, you don't get the bad ending. So that's pretty much doing almost every single side quest. Suikoden doesn't really have side quests. Most 80% or more of its side quests are about recruiting the rest of the characters. So no, it did not take me 70 hours. Not a single playthrough. The longest I did was 50 hours, I think. We're talking about a PlayStation 2 game. PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 2 RPGs and below, PS1, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, they didn't take that long back then. 50 hours was like, whoa, that game is 50 hours long? What? That was back then. Whereas now it's like, oh, it's 50 hours? No, that's too short. Yeah, Suikoden 5 is not 70 hours unless you grind your characters to level 99 and just wander around, and I don't know what the fuck someone's doing putting 70 hours on Suikoden 5. But there are others, Dragon Quest, there are exceptions. That's one exception, Dragon Quest 7. That's a long as fuck game. There are others, the Persona 4 is 60 hours long. I think I did 60 hours. And I didn't do a lot of side quests in Persona 4, Well, that's another game where most of the side content is about the dating simulation and Persona Fusion and all that jazz, But there are a lot of side quests in Persona, like the Elizabeth from Persona 3, Margaret side quests. bring me these two personas, or do this or do that, you know, and yeah. So people can put easily 100 hours in Persona 4 in a game like that. So there are some exceptions, but the truth is that the majority of RPGs from the PS2 era and below were 40 hours long, all of them. 40-45 hours max. 50 hours if you grinded a hell of a lot, if you played on hard, and if you did absolutely everything. Legend of Dragoon, I beat that game in like 28 hours, man. We've talked about this before. Why are you guys like this? You know, why? I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's like, come on, man. Keeps going forever, you know, years are gonna pass and people are gonna have the same argument over and over again, you know. Games, RPGs are not that long. You are the ones putting that many hours into the games. These RPGs were not programmed or designed to be that long. You're the guys making them that long. You want to put 300 hours into a 5-hour long RPG? That's you, but that doesn't mean, oh, that game is 300 hours long. No, that's how many hours you put into that game, which is vastly different. So, you know, come on. Oh, I know a guy, I had a friend, you know, years ago who actually, the guy on Suikoden 1, he grinded every single playable character, because not every character in... Suikoden has 108 characters, but half of them can't fight. They're just, you know, the cook, or the guard, or the elevator guy, or the map guy, or the guy who does this, or the girl who does that, does the errands, or whatever, you know. Well, half of your party, you get like 50 characters, more or less 50 or 60 characters that can fight in your party. So this guy, he grinded every single character to level 99. That's insane, man. Wow, I mean, that's exactly what I did with Chrono Cross. Anyway, so, yeah. To each their own, exactly. When it comes to the Trails games, I do like, I don't know, 30% of a side quest, you know? I know. To me, any game 8+ hours long is a very long game. You know, I'm playing Shantae and I'm trying to finish it and I'm like 5 hours in and I'm like, why? I mean, shouldn't this be like 3 hours long? I mean, it's a damn platformer. Except Shantae has some RPG element. There's a town, you talk to people, they give you hints. This is, you know, I'm gonna start using that game. You know, from now on, when people tell me Zelda 2 is an RPG, if Zelda 2 is an RPG, then this is an RPG too. Just because you have a town and you talk to people and you gain hearts, you gain more hearts, so your health increases, that doesn't make it an RPG. They just have RPG elements, that's all. My opinion, though. My opinion. There are a lot of RPGs that are 5 hours long, but they used to be from the early 90s. Some of the first Ys games, I mean, this game. Or whatever, you know, Ys 3 on the Super Nintendo, Genesis. I've seen people beating the game in like 2 hours. And not speedrunners, no, just regular gamers, you know, that beat the game in 2.5 hours. Because RPGs from the 80s, most of them used to be like that, you know. That was an RPG back then. Dragon Warrior, people can beat the game in like 4 hours, 3 hours. Dragon Warrior 5 hours was like, what the fuck were you doing in the game? Did you leave the controller aside to listen to the music, to the overworld music, and just fell asleep? Hey, Danny. I don't remember if your party members not in your party in Chrono Cross level up if you... Do they? Do they all level up? I don't remember that. I've been in the game millions of times and I don't even remember that. Anyway, so which Shantae game are you currently... I just showed it, man. This one, it's just the light is reflecting on the game. There you go. Half Genie Hero on the PS4. It's everywhere. Switch, Xbox One, Steam, microwaves, refrigerators, Atari Jaguar, Amiga, the Amiga systems. It's also on the Magnavox Odyssey. How do you pick the game you play or the next? Do you have a backlog or you just play whatever you want? I do have a backlog. You're seeing it right now. Well, the majority of these games I already played them. But some of them I haven't finished them. I just pick a game depending. Well, now that I'm a YouTuber, I pick a game depending on my needs. I usually give preference to games that I haven't played at all, or that I never talked about in this channel, or that I barely covered, so that I can have more material to talk about. So sometimes, I use certain top 10s as an excuse to talk about these games. Like, for example, when I did the top 10 RPGs I need to talk about, there were several games in there, like the Suikoden game on the PSP, that I was dying to talk about for months. And I was like, man, I beat that game on December, and I haven't talked about it. So there you have it, but I don't feel like forcing myself, to play a game just for the sake of the channel. And I don't feel like, giving it my all. Like, oh man, I gotta beat this game no matter what, even if I don't enjoy it. I'm not that kind of person. I don't force myself to play video games. I need some balance. If it's gonna be for the channel, I need to play the game and enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, I stop playing it, like Earthlock. I was like, no, I'm not gonna force myself to finish the game just for the sake of the channel. It's just pissing me off, so that's it. And, well, so it's pretty much playing whatever I want, whatever I feel like. It's kind of, every now and then I feel burned out from RPGs, so that's why I'm playing Shantae right now. I try to play different genres as often as I can to avoid, an RPG burnout, because the RPGs are my favorite games, are pretty much my favorite hobby. But, when it's also your job, when your hobby is your job, most of you are not going to understand that. But when your hobby is your job, it becomes a responsibility. So it weighs on you a little bit, starts weighing on you. And you get to a point where you're like, man, it's just right now I don't want to play any RPGs. I want to play a freaking shoot 'em up or a fighting game or whatever, and that's a breath of fresh air. So, yeah, it's a little bit of both. And I do have a way of picking games, I select a few and I'm like, I kind of want to play this one, but it's useless if I play this for the channel. This will be good for the channel and I really want to play this one, so this one. So it's a little bit of balance. Hey, Michael, thanks, man. Thanks a bunch. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yeah, it's a heavily recommended game. A lot of people have told me it's amazing, that I'm gonna love it. I've only played it for like 45 minutes. I remember I borrowed the game when I was in Canada and I played it for a bit. That's why I've only talked about that game for in 2 videos, I think. But I really want to play it. But it's I don't want to pay more than $20 for it. So I've been waiting. I've seen it for 25, 22. I want to pay 20. Are you guys like that too? Do you guys? I want to ask you guys that. Do you guys set up a bar, like a price? Like, I don't want to pay more than this amount of money for that particular game. Do you guys do that too? I do that all the time. Most collectors aren't like this. They pay whatever they need. But I'm the same way. I'm like, there's this game, and I don't really want to pay more than that. I'm like that with the Atelier games. I'm like, I know the Atelier games are kind of expensive, but I'm like, I don't want to pay more than $20 for an Atelier game. It's a little. I increase to 30 depending on the game, or if I need it for the channel. If I absolutely need it for the channel, I do. Like, I paid full price for Shin Megami Tensei 5. So it depends on the game, right? To indie games. We need to talk about indie games again. I can't believe I've been trying my hardest, man. My hardest. You guys know that. I streamed and played a hell of a lot of indie RPGs, and I can't believe almost every single one of them pisses me off. They all have something that kills them for me, not for you, for me. I'm like, why? Earthlock is a recent example. Did you try Eiyuden Chronicles yet? No, I don't give a rat's ass about Eiyuden Chronicles because the guys who made the game, they didn't reply to my messages and they ignored me and they ignored my Body Hellfire RPGs too. And we were among the very few YouTubers who were advertising the Eiyuden Chronicles 2 years ago. And they ignored us this time, so seriously, go fuck yourselves, the publishers of that game, man. I'll wait to see if I get a review code for the real Eiyuden Chronicles game coming up next year. But I don't feel like covering the series anymore. I mean, this is worse than Atlus, man. This is worse than what Atlus did to me. Rise of the Third Power is an amazing game. It's one of the very few indie RPGs I've played that didn't piss me off. It's hard, yeah, it's very challenging. Some bosses are very challenging, especially the last bosses. Very challenging, but they are supposed to be challenging, the last bosses. It doesn't have any bullshit like in Crosscode with really long and annoying puzzles. And Earthlock, you know, with... I'm not gonna talk about Earthlock, because I'm gonna make a video about it and it's gonna be exclusive to members. What JRPG class job do you associate your personality? You know, I've no idea. I think I'd like to associate myself with some kind of magician, with some mage. But I know most people wouldn't see me that way because I'm edgy and I'm angry. So you guys probably see me as some kind of berserker. As some kind of guy with an axe. But on the inside, you know, I think I identify more with mages. With a mage. Something like that, yeah. Indie RPGs do have a tendency to put annoying mechanics. I think the problem with indie RPGs is that, and I'm pretty sure all genres are the same, all indie whatever, indie shoot 'em up, indie platformer. I think what most of them have the problem they have is that they feel this enormous pressure from the Souls culture nowadays. That I don't want to get into this topic, man, because you get the idea. Like, they feel the pressure to make the games hard as fuck, or like extremely challenging. They feel the need to do that. And sometimes they focus a lot on that, and they forget other important aspects of the game. You know? I remember you liked Superstar Heroine. That's Cosmic Star Heroine. That's a masterpiece. I wish she could have had a little bit more character development. That's my one and only... The only complaint I have with Cosmic Star Heroine, but that's an amazing game, man. That's my favorite indie RPG so far. You should be a bard. Why should I be a bard? You know, I quit music a long time ago. I really don't have talent for music. I'm just an amateur. I realized that a long time ago. I heard you worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, man, it is pretty bad. I don't know how it is nowadays because we're talking about 17 years ago, 16 years ago. That was a long time ago. I was 19 years old, turned 20. You know, when I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's not the same working in KFC in the U.S. in a first world country, where they give you the true minimum wage. In Mexico, they give you the shittiest wage you can imagine. They treat you like garbage, and anything you do will merit will get you fired. You know, it's just wow. Have I told the story on what happened? I think I've told the story many times before. I'm gonna tell the story right now for those who don't know it. I joined Kentucky Fried Chicken because my parents. When you're young, when you're 19 years old and 20 and you really have no desire of being a doctor or a lawyer or going to college and really giving it your all like I did, you know, your parents are kind of like always putting that pressure on you, like get a job, and if you don't have a job, they're all over you. They're on top of you. Hey, when are you gonna get a job? You should get a job, goddamn, you know, I'm not, you're living here for free, you know. Parents are like that, you know. When you're young, you don't understand and you get pissed off. When you grow older, you get it. Yeah, but, so I started working at Kentucky Fried Chicken because of that pressure, because I was like, man, I don't want to work here because I know it's a shitty wage. I'm gonna be a slave to the wage, like Placebo says, the band. And, but you know, I had this pressure from my parents. So I applied and they gave me the job. But I'll never forget when I sat down with the manager. She interviewed me. She was a fucking bitch, by the way. Fuck that person, man. And she told me, we're gonna give you five Mexican pesos per hour. Do you know how much? Well, back then it was different, right? 5 Mexican pesos per hour. Back then, that's what the bus ticket used to cost. So you worked Kentucky Fried Chicken employees here in Guadalajara. We worked an entire hour just to be able to afford the fucking bus ticket. Should I continue with my story? I mean, come on. That's fucking slavery, man. So I was there for 2 months. 2 months. Only 2 months. Why 2 months? Because it's a shitty job, you know. They were making me clean toilets, tables, and then cook the freaking potato, whatever you want to call it, you know. And the potato salad, I think it's called. I don't know. But anyway, and about a month in, I was ready to quit. I was like, man, fuck this job. But I really wanted to buy a guitar. My guitar is right over there. You've seen it in some of my really older videos, the ones from 2018. I should feature my guitar again more often. But anyway, I wanted to buy that guitar. And I was like, man, I need more money. So I stayed, mashed potatoes, thanks man. So I stayed for another month. And I remember one day I couldn't even take it anymore, and I just ran away. There was a mall outside of this, outside the restaurant. So I went there, and I just sat there until a couple of my co-workers found me and said, man, everybody's worried about you. You ran away, and I was fucking, wow. You work at those places, man, and it's like they crush your soul. I didn't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for many years again. But yeah, I've eaten, you know, fried chicken from that fucking restaurant again. It's pretty rare. So that's my story, you know. I prevailed for 2 freaking months just so I could buy my guitar. That's a personal issue, man. JW. No comment. Have you ever played or heard of Sansara Naga? No, man. Never heard of him. Never heard of him, man. Sansara. And there's 2 games on the Super Nintendo. There's a lot of JRPGs on the Super Nintendo we never got. Did you guys know that nowadays we do get the majority of RPGs? Whereas back in the day, you know, we didn't used to get... I mean, you saw that, you know, half of the JRPGs released for the Super Famicom or the PlayStation or the Sega Saturn, we didn't get them. But nowadays, I know it's hard to believe, but nowadays we do get the majority of them, if not all of them. There's only like 1 or 2 exceptions every now and then. We're getting everything, even the games we shouldn't get. You know, like Omega Quintet, like Time and Eternity. Like, well, those games should stay in Japan. How come? Just baffles me, man. I mean, we're finally getting Trails from Zero. Thank you, NIS America, for that. How come it took so long for us to get that game? And instead they localize games like Time and Eternity, games like Last Rebellion on the PS3, games like Dragoneer's Aria, Blade Dancer, we got those games. Blade Dancer, NIS America published that game. We did not get Trails from Zero. We're even getting the Live Alive and TOV PS3 version these days. The Tales of Vesperia. Oh, because we got the remaster. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I was like, why are they gonna localize a PS3 game? Because why didn't John Dark make your top 10 strategy RPG list? Which strategy RPG list are you talking about? Which I've done many. I think you will like the fantasy story in Sansara Naga. It sounds weird. I'll look it up. Which is... I'm intrigued by that. You know, I get that all the time. That why wasn't this game on your list? Oof, half of my comments are probably like that. They used to be when I used to read them. You know, you missed this game, you forgot this game, where is this game? How dare you not include this game on this video? And I'm always like, whatever. But when a game like Jeanne d'Arc comes into conversation, oh no, man, I gotta answer that question. Top 10 from a few months ago. I have no idea, man. You mean my favorite? Or the hardest? Or the best modern strategy? I think you mean my favorite strategy RPGs. It isn't there because it's pretty simple. It is not one of my 10 favorite strategy RPGs. Simple as that. Oh man, didn't want to do this, but yeah. Let's just hide the guy. I'll never forget the gaming historian giving this advice many years ago. Just hide people in your chat. It's worse than blocking them. I did not finish Jeanne d'Arc because it was I don't want to spoil the game, man. Something happens in the game that upset me, and I didn't want to finish the game anymore. But the truth is that I got stuck in a boss fight. Well, it's not a boss fight, it's a mission where you have to run away. And I think I was a little bit under-leveled. And I just couldn't make it. And it didn't motivate me enough because of the other event. That's it, I don't want to spoil Jeanne d'Arc. It's an amazing game. Here we go again. You know about Dark Souls. I don't give a rat's ass about their difficulty. I mean, I beat Code Vein twice. And I know most of you are gonna say, oh, Code Vein is easy compared to Dark Souls. Yeah, whatever, man, I don't give a shit. Code Vein is a tough as fuck game. And I beat it, and I loved it. So I don't give a rat's ass about the difficulty in the Souls games. What turns me off is that for me, they're too fucking boring, you know? I don't care about the characters. It barely has any characters. I don't care about the story. I don't care about the music. I don't care about the design. Well, I cared about the design in Bloodborne, but it wasn't enough to keep me going, you know? They just bored me. I just think they're boring games to me. They're not fun for me. You know, if I'm gonna play a really hard game, I need like something else to keep me going, like a great story, great characters, music, something, you know, to make me say, oh man, I want to know what happens afterwards. So I gotta really beat this guy or beat this boss because I want to see the end. I want to reach the end. I want to beat this game. But Souls games are like, ugh, fuck, man. It's just, they're boring to me. Do you like any RPG Maker games? I think I've played a couple of them. I played one based on me. And I played one a long time ago, one that someone did. I downloaded it. But I think they're good. I think RPG Maker has potential. And it gives people the freedom to finally, well, create your own thing. However, the problem with RPG Maker is that you really need to know, I mean, you don't need to be a very knowledgeable programmer, but you need to have some kind of skill, and you need to have the patience to create everything, you know, every asset, and put it there, and make the character talk this way, and make the chat box appear this way, and make the random number generator for the attacks and the damage. You know, that's oof. I've zero patience for that. So everybody who grabbed RPG Maker, any version, and made an RPG, you have my respect. I have no patience for that, man. The battle system in Tales of Berseria is really repetitive. It kind of is in Tales games, I feel. It's kind of weird, you know, because I don't feel like that's a Berseria problem. I think that's any Tales game. All of them. And I'm a huge fan of the Tales series. You know that. And, well, Tales series is pretty much one of my 5 favorite JRPG series ever. Well, tied up with Shin Megami Tensei. But, Tales is, I don't see any battle system in the Tales series that isn't repetitive. You don't like MMORPGs? It's not that I don't like them, it's that they're kind of dangerous for me. I don't like playing them because they're too addictive. I had a problem over 10 years ago with Gaia Online, and I was depressed back then. I was going through some bullshit in my life, and I got so addicted to Gaia Online until I finally woke up and said, man, I'm ruining my life, you know, it's dangerous, man. MMORPGs are what, I don't know, what cocaine is for some people, I guess, you know, it's just, no. What was the very first YouTube video you ever uploaded? Is it still on the channel, and what did you think of the video in retrospect? Hey, Terry. Thanks for asking that. The very first video I uploaded is not really a video, it was a song. You know, I used to be a musician, and I think it was just a song I uploaded back in 2008. Because I created this channel in 2007. But I didn't upload anything until 2008. Because I wanted to be a musician, and there was MySpace, you know, MySpace was big back then. So I was like, man, where else can I, you know, show my music, my demos, you know? Oh, YouTube. So I uploaded a song in there. I uploaded a bunch of songs. Some of them are still there. And they were low production, you know, they were just demos, really, really rough demos, you know, with shitty instruments, shitty production, and shitty audio. But they were there, you know, they were my demos. I was like, I have my demo. People can listen to it. And obviously, the video had like 20 views, right? And that was the first video I uploaded. But I deleted those videos because, some of them, not all of them, because on MySpace, there was a problem with copyright. Independent musicians were starting to say, hey, other people are stealing my music. So I was like, man, nobody's gonna steal my music. But I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, what if someone does it? So I deleted all of my videos. And there was just like, I don't know, like 7 songs in there, 6, 7 songs, and that was it. I deleted them all, and then I got a bunch of them because I have like 20-something songs. And I just got a bunch of them, and I put copyright in them, and I paid some money, and I was like, man, this isn't worth it, because I'm not going to make a single penny out of these songs, probably, and I never did. So I uploaded, you know, I re-uploaded those songs. So the oldest video in this channel is one of my songs. I think it's from my one-man band, The Vortex Dimension. I think it's from 2009, pretty much, and it's called Sephira, the song. It has copyright. But it's just a demo. And what do I think about it in retrospective? Well, I mean, it's 2022. I listen to that song and I'm like, man, it sounds like shit. Fuck. But that's what I had back then, you know, a shitty microphone, a shitty software, a shitty equipment, you know, a shitty instrument. I didn't even have a pedal for the guitar. You know, those were the good... Oh, no, wait, I did have a pedal for that song. You know, you can listen to the pedal in the song, you know, but the audio, the production was, you know, like extremely amateurish, you know. So in retrospective, I listened to that song and I'm like, fuck, man. I could easily re-upload that song, rework it, you know, nowadays, but I'm too fucking lazy. What Wayne said. You're a fan of Wayne's World? Thanks for the videos being watching all weekend. Please keep making them. My pleasure, man. I will keep making them despite a lot of people wanting me not to. Where does the name Vortex Dimension come from? It was a mistranslation for a music theme in Chrono Cross, which is called Cleft of Dimensions, I think. But back then, this was a long time ago when people were barely starting to download music from YouTube. Somebody uploaded that theme. It's the theme when where you. I don't want to spoil the game. When you go into another dimension, like how do I explain this? Well, you know that moment. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spoil what happens in Chrono Cross, but I think you know what moment I mean, maybe. And there's this little place where this Prig, a character, lives in there, and then you have to escape that place. That place is like drawn with hand drawn, entirely hand drawn, which is beautiful. Beautiful place, and the song that plays in there is beautiful. So that's always been my favorite Chrono Cross song. And when I downloaded the song 17 years ago, it was called the Vortex Dimension. That's it. Because I never really had a band of my own. I joined other people's bands when I was, a teenager, when I was 17, 18 years old. But when I made my own band, it was just me, and it was just called Android. Like, can you believe that back then, androids didn't exist? So I always felt like, man, it's just a very simple word. And for some reason, it just didn't click with me, Android. So I changed it to Lost Android. And that's how I copyrighted some of my first songs, like the ones in this channel. I think if you read the description, it should say something like copyright to Lost Android, because that was my name, the official name that I gave at the copyright building, But then I played Chrono Cross, and I was like, Lost Android, I don't know. So I changed it to the Vortex Dimension, which was better because you know what? Because of this. Like, thank goodness I changed the name, because nowadays everybody will say, oh, it's that guy with the band, like the phones, Android, it's because of the phones, right? And oh, fuck, man, I'm so glad I changed the name. What was 13 years ago? Sephira? No, well, yeah, I think I composed Sephira in 2008. I didn't upload it until 2009. I mean, I uploaded it on 2008, but I deleted it, then put copyright on it, then re-uploaded it on... So that's the first video in this channel. I want to talk about this history of this channel one of these days, but that's a huge video. And it's gotta be called the convoluted and bizarre history of this channel, because there's just been a lot of shit in here. I've done short films, I've done, I gotta tell the story about the slideshows, it's just a lot, man. I did a video a long time ago in 2017, I think, or 2018. Nobody watched it, nobody cared, but it's a long video. And man, it needs an entire live stream. Oscar, are you going to update your personal blog soon? You were really active on it years ago. Ooh. I'm not sure. I mean, I just stopped caring for it. I didn't really feel it was necessary, because now I have this channel, and I have my second channel, I have Discord, I have places where I can just talk about what I want to talk. So I just abandoned that blog because, I don't know, like, I felt that there wasn't any need for it anymore. I'm not really a fan of, you know me, man, I'm not really the biggest fan of social media. People ask me all the time, why are you on Twitter or Facebook? I am, but I rarely post things in there, it's just, I don't know, maybe I will get more views and subscribers if I did, but it's just something about social media, most of them, it just doesn't click with me, You should have said it's because of 2B. Hey, Bushin! Good day to you too. Is Nobuo Uematsu both a composer and game scriptwriter? No, I'm pretty sure the guy is just a composer. Have you tried any of the any Chinese wuxi action RPGs like Sword and Fairy? No, but I played Shuan Yuan Sword. I think it's pronounced Shan Yuan Sword. I have one here. Don't fall, don't fucking fall. This game, it's an action RPG. It's a Chinese game. Yeah, I've seen the Sword and Fairy games. I remember a long time ago when the PlayStation 3 store was, well, it's still active. You can still buy games, you know, but when I used to buy digital games on PS3 a long time ago, especially demos because they were free, I saw a Sword and Fairy game in there. I don't know the number, 5, 6, I have no idea, but it didn't seem very appealing to me, to be honest. Eric, can you choose my next game, please? Okay, you should choose yourself, you know. I'm actually playing Dragon Quest XI. I'm between Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness and Secret of Mana, PS4. Well, Integrity and Faithlessness is... It's not a bad game, but it is the worst Star Ocean. It has a lot of problems, difficulty spikes, it's very short, main characters are shallow as fuck. Go with Secret of Mana. And I do recommend the PS4 version of Secret of Mana. I know most people don't. I don't know what happened, that maybe somebody here can tell us why the game got a lot of shit. That remake, the remake, not the original. But yeah, I recommend Secret of Mana. I think it's the better game. Just got Xuan Yuan Sword yesterday physically, really. Like Tales. No, it doesn't really feel like Tales to me. But yeah, I get... It's a little bit of a technical combat, but a little bit on the fast-paced side. I get what you mean, but maybe you feel it's like Tales of Arise. It's a little bit similar, but I don't feel... I mean, if I play Tales of Legendia or Vesperia and compared to this game, I'm like, no. But if you feel it that way. How have your standards changed since you started playing JRPGs up to now in terms of how JRPGs hold up? What? Let me read that again. How have my standards changed? Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, I get it. You know, they haven't changed at all. When I play JRPGs, I mean, I obviously judge things differently because I'm not a reviewer. You know, I'm now a reviewer. I review games, even if it's just in the top 10. You know, I talk about them and I recommend them or complain about them or rant about them or get passionate about them. You know, so it's a little bit different from what I was, from my mentality of 15 years ago, or I think it's been like 17 years since I started playing RPGs. But not much has changed. I don't really have any standards. What did change is that, and you probably already noticed this, is that I don't have the most patience anymore for certain type of mechanics, the same way I did back then. But overall, I don't think my standards have changed. I still play whatever, you know, just to be able to say something about it. Or just to be able to experience it, you know, and decide if I like it or not. Somebody was telling me that I look like a musician. I am a musician. Well, I was. Is 9 is a masterpiece, man. Some social media community are very toxic, especially Twitter. I keep hearing that, you know, that everybody hates Twitter. It's the most toxic social media. I've never gotten a single problem in that place, you know. It's just I see people tagging me sometimes, but it's like, okay, thanks. You know, like they recommend some of my videos sometimes, and okay, cool, you know, but I don't really care about Twitter. I haven't received any toxicity from Twitter. You know, or Facebook. Facebook in my own fan page. You know, because Facebook is, whoa, holy shit, man. All of those JRPG groups. Oh my god, somebody says something, oh, I like Tales of Vesperia. I love this game. What do you guys think about it? And the entire, you know, people a bunch of fucking assholes in there, man. And Tales is just the tip of the iceberg. You want to see the shittiest Facebook groups, you know, Go to Shin Megami Tensei, man. Wow, it just blows me away. God damn it, man. Why can't we like both Persona and Shin Megami Tensei? Man? What's wrong with liking both? What's wrong with liking more Shin Megami Tensei 5 more than Nocturne? Or Apocalypse more than the original 4, you know? What? Wow, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. Have you tried Xenogears? That's not for me, right? You're probably asking somebody else. What are your top 3 favorite books? Have you heard of Mistborn? I've heard of Mistborn, I've never read them. My 3 favorite books, my number 1 will be... I'm trying to make a video about this for my second channel. I think my number 1 is definitely The Winter of the Fisher by Cameron Langford. I know, if you look that book up and see what it's about, you're gonna say, this is your favorite book? It is. It is my favorite book because it's the very first book that I read in my life that I took seriously. Then I read Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I don't give a fuck what you say, I love that book. It's not among my favorites, but I love it nonetheless. I also have the movie with music by Neil Diamond. Ha! I love it. Guilty pleasure, I guess. But yeah, The Winter of the Fisher is my favorite book of all time. Followed by the Vampire Chronicles, the first 3 books by Anne Rice. Rest in peace, Anne Rice. In case you guys don't know, the woman who wrote Interview with the Vampire, she passed away last year. In case you didn't know, rest in peace. If you're gonna make me pick which book of the first 3, which are Interview with the Vampire, Lestat the Vampire, and The Queen of the Damned. The Queen of the Damned, the book is amazing, the movie is garbage. Has a great soundtrack, by the way, but the movie is garbage, don't watch it. Read the book instead. I can't decide between those 3. Can I pick my own books as my favorites? Man, the only thing social media is good for, if you ask me, is marketing. It probably is, you know, I used a lot of those Facebook groups. The very same Facebook groups I'm complaining about, I used to use them when I first started. When I had like 1,000 subscribers, you know, I was posting my every single video in those groups. I wasn't on Twitter back then. I was posting every single video, man. And I'd like to believe it worked. If at least a little bit. Is Falcom milking the Trail series? Well, look at it this way. Trails is what Persona is to Atlus. Trails is for Falcom what Persona is to Atlus. It's their most successful franchise, so... if I were them, I would make it too. You guys know what I do with this channel, right? I make the most money out of the top 10s. I like to make different type of content more often in this game, in this channel, you know, but top 10s is where the money is. So I milk them. I shouldn't say these things. People say I'm too transparent and I shouldn't be that like this. Do you think hand-drawn 2D sprite is a dying art? Well, we rarely see it nowadays, you know. You might be right. I think more like dying. I'd say that it's already dead. Almost nearly nobody uses it anymore, which is sad. Used to be beautiful. I mean, take a look at Chrono Cross. I mean, it just looks freaking amazing, man. Humans are wired to go extreme on every subject, no matter how silly or unimportant it is, sadly. Nowadays, it is. That's the truth about humanity. And therefore, there's a lot of dramas. A lot of dramas for no reason. Just because I go out and say, you know what? I hate the freaking dungeons in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Ooh, boy. Somebody's already... Never mind. I don't want to feed that. I mean, I feed it all the time, right? What is your favorite sopa? What? My favorite soap, you mean? I don't really eat a lot of soaps. Is rice a soup? If rice is a soup, then rice, I guess. Lentejas. Lentejas, man, that's one of my favorites. I have no idea how it's called in English, and I don't even know if it exists in English. We have a lot of food in Mexico that does not exist anywhere else. There's no English translation for that. The soup is called lentejas, period. I appreciate that transparency of yours. It's a double-edged sword, I guess. No, we're talking about lentils. It exists! Lentils, alright. Oh, that's it. I love that. I don't really, eat soups. Except for rice. Rice is maybe once a week. I love me some Japanese food. Well, Mexican rice is better too. It's great too, yeah. Would you ever consider reviewing visual novel games? No. I mean, I've done some on my second channel and on this channel as well. I've recommended some that are RPGs. Like Sakura Wars, Utawara Rumono, some of them. I think I remember recommending Our World is Ended on my second channel. But it's not really my genre, man. People are attracted to extremism. Oh man, you guys are baiting me. I love to bitch about social justice warriors and how people hate each other nowadays. They complain about everything and they get offended about everything. I don't want to talk about that. You know what? I used to watch one of the very first YouTubers I used to watch many years ago, all the way back to 2008, was The Amazing Atheist. The guy's still there. He's still making videos. And he had over 1 million subscribers and he got big until YouTube started shadow banning the guy, and now most of his videos barely make it past 100,000 views. So we've gotten to that. That's how bad it is nowadays. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say about this topic, alright? But I really want to tell you guys, you need to fight for our freedom of speech. Sure, speech can be excessive, and that's wrong, I think. But when you stand up and make a G.I. Jane joke, and Will Smith stands up and hits you in the face, that's when you realize this world is fucked up, man. Fight for your freedom of speech, people. Fight for it. Don't just get oppressed and be extremely careful with what you say. No, fuck that. We need to take our freedom of speech back. This is bullshit, man. I can't believe it, I hadn't seen or known anything about The Amazing Atheist well, that guy is pretty extreme. He really abuses his freedom of speech, but it's his freedom of speech. Right? So it just broke my heart. I think it was Monday or Tuesday when I was like, man, I haven't checked out this guy in years. He was pretty famous, and I went there, and most of his videos are like 50,000 views, 70,000, 100,000, and the guy he was huge, man. And look at Alpha Omega Sin. He quit YouTube. He just left. And people are like, why did Alpha Omega Sin leave? Well, watch his videos and you'll see why he left. He was probably threatened. Or YouTube shadow banned the fuck out of him. It's just... This is ridiculous, man. We need to fight this shit, man. We need to fight for our freedom of speech. Just don't abuse it. Don't be such a fucking asshole like I am. But man, you gotta be able to say, the things you want to say. And not get shadow banned, and not get cancelled, or attacked, or slandered, by other people, or by other influencers, or by... is this really, the society we want to live in nowadays? An oppressed society? A society like in freaking what's the book of George Orwell? 1984? Do we really want to live in that? That's where we're heading. That's exactly where we're heading, Seriously. Thank goodness, we have social media. as toxic as you guys want to make it out, it is very fucking toxic. But it's also very useful, for people like us, who want to make art, who still want to make those politically incorrect comic books, novels, videos, short films, whatever. I mean, there's a reason why pornography succeeded greatly, right? I mean, it's there. It's always been politically incorrect. It forever will be politically extremely incorrect, but it is there, and it's the richest fucking business in the world. Pornography makes way more money than drugs, than weapons, than war, than oil. I'm not kidding. Anyway, that's it. Now this Q&A will get shadow banned by YouTube. And a lot of social justice warriors will be ready with the pitchforks to talk shit about us. But just remember that. You're not alone. Okay, we need to fight for our freedom of speech. What do you think about the battle theme from... Back to your questions. Let's let this topic end. It's always every Q&A. It feels like every Q&A I need to say something about it because it's frustrating. I mean, it's there. It's in your face every single day, especially for us YouTubers. We're there exposed to all of this shit. You guys have the anonymity. You guys are anonymous. You can say whatever you want, and you get no consequences. I say something, and I get threatened to be demonetized. Nah, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, let's not make this Q&A about that, It's okay to mention it every now and then because I want to fight for this, I've been fighting for this since I started making videos. I don't know if you guys remember that topic I did a long time ago. What was it? January 2018, I think? It was a long time ago I made a video about video game... I think it was called Fanatics Are Destroying the Gaming Community. And I complained about how some people treat some games, like they are on a silver plate and you can't criticize them. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thanks a bunch, man, from Chile. And I remember the video got shadow banned. Nobody was watching it. And I was like, okay, why? And now I know why, because YouTube said, oh no, this video, no. And I also made a video about censorship. That was a long time ago. Wow, that was like 2018. I'm pretty sure that is from 2018. One of my very first vlogs, where I just sat there like for 20 minutes bitching about censorship. And I made it so ironic that I know the differences between Japan and North America. How they don't like violence in there, but they are okay with sexualization. And in North America, it's like the opposite, right? We get these games like Call of Duty and God of War, and kids are playing them. But no, we get this girl that looks like she's 16, and you can see her nipples through her cleavage. No. Sony and PlayStation says that can't happen, That was so funny, man. I mean, and if we're gonna start talking about Sony's censorship policies, don't you think they're kind of funny? I mean, there's a lot of games that got away with it, and others are getting censored. Like, why is it that only some games, but not the rest? And Nintendo, oh my god, how it used to how it used to censor everything back in the 90s. And now you go to your Switch online, you go to Switch, and you find a ton of visual novels that are extremely kinky and whatever. It's just so fucking funny, man. Exactly, double standard. It's just hypocrisy, man. I mean, oh yeah. Dear concerned parents, we are Nintendo, we're still a company, aimed for kids, and you have this shit ton of really dirty visual novels that you can buy for $5 fucking on Switch. Oh man. I mean, how did Nier Automata get away? How did Nier Automata get away on the PlayStation 4 and I don't know, it's just Dead or Alive Extreme. Maybe it's too extreme for Sony, you know? Man, I need to make a video about this. It's just a joke. Yeah, we have porn on the Switch, man. Yeah, Deftones White Pony t-shirt, my man. Oh, it's full of, damn. I have dry skin. People think it's dandruff. I think it's pronounced dandruff. It isn't. I have dry skin. Doom, but not Vavoom. Imagine, I mean... You know, never mind. I think this Q&A session has become the most politically incorrect Q&A session I've ever done. So, now that I have over 100 people watching, and nobody's asking about the title of this video, really? Seriously? I know you don't give a shit, guys, but you could at least pretend, you know, to give a shit. I want to start making live reviews about some games that most people don't give a shit about, but I do. And these reviews are not going to be like 10-minute long videos, you know. There'll probably be like 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour review. But these videos, you know, because they're going to get very little views, they'll affect my algorithm. Yeah, I know, fuck YouTube, I know. But if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't be here. You know, so YouTube is like my love-hate relationship. I mean, it's the reason I'm here. It's the reason we're all here, right? We can't be too hard on the website. As much as I insult and criticize this website, I love it. I'm here, I'm still making content for it. But anyway, the point is that if you click on the join button, which is next to the subscribe button, click on that button if you haven't, by the way. And the bell too, by the way. You join, you pay $2 a month, and then you will get access to these videos. It's not gonna be like every 2 videos a week, no, but I want to talk about a game that I'm playing. You know, I want to talk about the RPGs that I've been playing lately. You know, sometimes I feel like I have a lot to say about them, and sometimes I have to wait until the right top 10 comes. You know, like, man, I just finished, I don't know. Well, let me give you the example. I beat Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne on the PlayStation 4, right? And I was like, man, if I make a review about this, I mean, I don't have a lot of Shin Megami Tensei fans in my channel, so it's not gonna get a lot of views. So what do? Oh, so I'm just gonna make it about Matador, because, you know, that's a boss that gave me a lot of trouble back in the day, and it's become a meme in this channel, unfortunately. So what happened is that I made a video about it. I think some of you remember that video. Some of you. I made a video about how I beat Matador, and I also did a review of the game, shared my thoughts on the whole game. So it was like a Shin Megami Tensei 3 review live. It got 2,000 views, and I was like, man, that 2,000 views is what my Q&As make, or my Let's Plays, you know, which is normal, but for a video, a live review, it's not. And you know, the algorithm is so evil in this website that it fucks you up if you upload content that is like that is unsuccessful. So, unfortunately, you know, I like to make these videos live, but as soon as the live is over, you know, they're gonna be exclusive to members. So if you miss them and you really want to see me bitching about Swan Yuan Sword 7 on the PS4, you gotta pay $2 a month, and that's it. Thank you, Rodrigo. Oh, and you get a badge like Rodrigo just did right now. A beautiful green badge. And you stand out, and you're like, oh, that guy's username looks different. He's probably someone important. They're members of Eric Landon RPG. The anti-social justice warriors channel. Enough about that. Have you played Fallout New Vegas? I did. That's the game that I played. That's the first Fallout game I ever played. And can you promise you won't unsubscribe to this channel? Promise me that? I didn't like it. You know what my thing with Fallout is? That I thought the idea was so cool. I think Fallout should be like some kind of series. I love to watch a Netflix series based on Fallout, like the one with The Witcher. Has anybody watched the Witcher series here, or the Castlevania series? They're pretty good. They aren't, like, wow, these blew me away. No, but they're great. The Castlevania series was great. So I'd love to see that on Fallout, but playing the games, it's just not for me, not my cup of tea. I don't really like shooters. I mean, they aren't shooters. I mean, you can fight with weapons, and you can also play in third person. That's what I did on New Vegas. I remember New Vegas, you start in this abandoned building and sitting on a chair, and the game asks you a lot of questions, right, to determine your personality, and there's a lot of them, and then you're free to go. And then you go out, and I felt overwhelmed like that, I've said this before, but the reason why this is a maybe, I think it's a psychological issue that I have, is that I may not like open world games because I feel like my life has been an open world for many years. So when I play video games, I kind of want to be taken from point A to point B. I don't mind. I know linear games are outdated and most people don't like them, but that's what I want to play in all genres, and not just in RPGs, I kind of want to say, I want the game to tell me, you need to go from this point to this point and kill this guy. That's happiness for me. But if you let me loose in an open world and do whatever you want, I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. That's why I quit The Witcher 3. That's what what am I supposed to do? And then people tell me, you need to go to this place and do this side quest, and then this other side quest, and no, but what about, I need direction, man. And I have a terrible sense of direction. I get lost very easily. I remember the Tales of Cesteria is not an open world game. I know that, but it does have some small open world features. I got lost all the time. I got lost in the game like that. It's pathetic, I know. Laugh if you want to, but I have a terrible sense of direction. I just can't. Open world games, not for me, man. And then there's this Fallout game on the PS2. And I think it's called, I forget the name. Damn it, man, but it's a top-down view, third-person view. And you can you can choose a guy or the girl. Come on, guys, what's the name of that game? Dark Brotherhood? Something like Steel, Brotherhood of Steel? Is it Brotherhood of Steel, I think? There, yeah. Wow, what a terrible game, man. This fucking sucks, man. The only fun that I had, man, I'll get demonetized for saying this, but I picked the girl and you can play with her in her bare underwear. Really short underwear, and I was happy playing with my girl in underwear. I was like, this is fun. Like half an hour later, I was like, fuck this game, man. It's part of the. I think I think it's one of the first Fallout games, isn't it? And it's just. I'm not entirely against open world games. I can play some open world games as long as I always know where to go. Like take Xenoblade Chronicles, for example, on the Definitive Edition on the Switch. Is that an open world RPG? Do you guys consider that game as an open world RPG? Well, if you do, I love that game and I beat it. But because most of the time, I knew where to go. There's this, kind of like a GPS system telling you where to go. On Xenoblade Chronicles, you get this star or this symbol, and you just gotta follow it on the map. And you get to your next destination, Yes, I skipped most of the side content in Xenoblade Chronicles. If you guys want to say, oh, he didn't really appreciate the game, he really didn't enjoy it, wasted opportunity, whatever, that's how I enjoy some games, In some games, I do a lot of side quests. I did a lot of side content on Ys 9, and that surprised me. I usually don't do side quests in JRPGs, or I barely do them. On Ys 9, I ended up doing almost all of them. But on Xenoblade Chronicles, I was like, go to this really far away place to beat this monster, and then come back to this other place in the far east to do this other thing, and then you go back to where you were and you get money. Yeah, if that's your thing and you find that fun, good for you. I don't find that fun. And some quests in Xenoblade Chronicles had dialogue. I remember you got some more cutscenes, so a little bit more of character development. You know, found out more about the characters. I found that really cool. But I was just too lazy because, okay, if you guys say it's not an open world, but it's kind of like a little bit like that, right? I mean, there's these huge locations where you can just travel around and mess around and fight monsters and fight elite monsters and that, right? So what happened to me is that I just got too lazy for that. I was like, man, okay, if I do this side quest, I'll probably watch that scene. But I just didn't, because what I had to do was so tedious, you know? Like I said, you know, I do this in some JRPGs, but not on all of them. Oh, some Nocturne music in here. I think Nocturne is a game, Shin Megami Tensei 3 is a game that is kind of misunderstood in this channel, which is why I think a lot of Shin Megami Tensei fans hate me. They don't realize I actually love that fucking game. I love Shin Megami Tensei 3. It just has a couple of annoying things that I think are kind of, you know, kind of unfair. And that's what gets them, you know, but we love the same game. Hate me all you want, we love the same game. I mean, how can they live with that, right? Have you played Ni no Kuni DS? That's like a different version of the first game right now. I haven't. I'm not the biggest fan of Ni no Kuni, the first one. Just not the biggest fan of somebody's asking about Yokai Watch. So I'll answer the question in both. Yokai Watch, Pokemon, Digimon, you know, Ni no Kuni felt kind of like that. Beautiful game, Ni no Kuni, beautiful music, but the mechanics were like that, combat was like that, like capture the monsters and have them fight. I don't know. Because when you first play Ni no Kuni, it takes a while to get started, you know, it's kind of slow, but you get all this entertaining thing about what's the kid's name? Well, the kid's mom. And it was really cool, you know, when I played it, I was like, man, this is really cool. I mean, I know most people complain about that nowadays. I mean, you get 15 minutes of talking and they're already bitching about, oh, this is a visual novel. You know, they can't stand that, apparently. But I thought that part was really beautiful on Ni no Kuni, you know, all this part when you're running around town and going from one place to another and really get the story started. And finally you get transported to this fantasy world. That's when the game finally starts, and then there's the overworld, and I was loving the game. But when I got to combat, I know combat in Ni no Kuni is like great for some of you. It just wasn't for me. It's like Resonance of Fate. Well, no, bad example. Never mind. Resonance of Fate is too freaking convoluted. And Ni no Kuni is simple to understand. It's very easy to understand and get into, but that combat did nothing for me. So yeah, I'm very, very picky when it comes to monster collecting games. I mean, I love Shin Megami Tensei, but because you get demons, and these demons fight by your side, you know. But in Pokemon, is to capture this cute little monster, train it, and have it fight, and I see the appeal on that, but it just doesn't appeal to me. This is Yggdra Union OST, that's right. Oh, you're playing that game, right? You mentioned that the other day. Is it beating the crap out of you? I told you guys to play that game with a walkthrough. Don't make the same mistake I did. Did you play Comrade? Comrade? Never heard of it. One day I should focus a season of my life to fan-translated JRPGs. I did back in a long time ago. That's how I got to play so many. It was around that time when I played Valkyria Chronicles 3, Tales of Innocence, Tales of the Tempest. Yeah, I know everybody hates it, I love it. And then I played a bunch of Soma Bringer on the Nintendo DS. Grand Knight's History on the PSP. I play a lot of PSP DS fan-translated RPGs. I need to get back to that, I think, you know, to make maybe a top 10 best fan translated. I mean, I already did a video about that, a long time ago, but maybe another video. The best fan translated hidden gems or something like that. What JRPG music have you played? Oh, I'm not really that good at playing JRPG music with the guitar. I used to be kind of decent with the keyboards. I know Tifa's theme from Final Fantasy IX. Tifa's theme, I mean, it's very easy to play Tifa's theme on the keyboard. I knew some JRPG music on the keyboard. On the guitar, I'm not. There was this one occasion where I tried to play Sunshine Coastline from East 8, and I was like, I couldn't, man. I failed miserably. I wish I could play that song, but I'm more of a rhythm guy on the guitar. I can't play, and I don't really enjoy. I enjoy listening to solos, but I don't enjoy playing solos on the guitar. Like, I don't enjoy that, I'm more like, I love that, man. That's my man from Deftones, Stephen Carpenter, That's what he taught me. He said he doesn't like playing solos either. That's why you rarely hear solos in Deftones. Most of the Deftones guitar sounds are riffs, or just, these harmonics that are like fifths and thirds, and I don't know what to call it in English. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a beautiful, well-paced game. I agree. A lot of people have started saying that it isn't, that it's the opposite, that it's boring and bland. They weren't saying that when it came out. I don't know what the fuck happened. When the game came out, everybody was like, "Oh, masterpiece, the best RPG ever made. Wow, glorious." And then several months later, namely 1 or 2 months ago, all these other influencers said, "The game sucks." I don't know. I think it's important. I think I complained about this before, I said that, but now I'm starting to think that it's important that games get that kind of reputation, because we don't want every single JRPG treated like Chrono Trigger. Like, you can't say anything about Chrono Trigger without raising a lot of red flags, in social media. So it's great that there's this influencers saying the game is a masterpiece, and then these other influencers saying the game is boring. So that creates some kind of balance, and then you can criticize the game openly. But if you go out and say, "Oh, Earthbound was kind of boring," there I already lost one subscriber right now for saying that. So I think it's important to create that kind of balance. I think it's happening to Tales of Arise too. I think when Tales of Arise came out, everybody was talking marvels about it. And nowadays you see more and more people saying, it's not that great. I loved it. I think it's an excellent game. But it's not the best Tales game in my opinion. So I think it's okay, Because I was mad. I was seeing all these comments on Shin Megami Tensei 5, and I was like, how dare they? The game's a masterpiece, and now that I think about it, we could use this to our advantage, because it's not like I don't have some bad things to say about Shin Megami Tensei 5, I do. I think the first one is that I think the areas were too long. When you start a different area in Shin Megami Tensei 5, you get this change of scenery and change in music, and music in these games is phenomenal. But eventually, 1 hour later, you're still in the same area and you're getting lost and you don't know where to go. And they tell you, you gotta go here to this specific location to get this, and you have no fucking clue how to get there. So it isn't a perfect game. But if you want to talk about Nocturne, we'll talk about Nocturne. Somebody was asking about Shin Megami Tensei 4, I think. How far did you get into it? I didn't get very far because I remember the game was telling me to do side quests, and I was like, okay, no, I don't want to do this, I want to continue the main story. No, you gotta go back to the same freaking dungeon 3 times and kill these 3 demons or find these items, and I was like, man, what? This is not... What the fuck, man? So, it turned me off, and I know I'm missing out. Shin Megami Tensei 4 is one of my biggest regrets because of that. Because I just need to convince myself to get around that, to really enjoy it, because I know I'm missing a heck of a story. And the soundtrack, you know, I can just listen to it on YouTube, I know, but I want to listen to the soundtrack while playing the game, to feel the experience, you know, to hear that Tokyo battle theme that I love with a passion, you know, while in a battle, you know. So yeah, I'm missing out on Shin Megami Tensei 4, but I just can't get around that, man. It's like Torna, like Xenoblade Chronicles Torna, like forcing you to do side quests. Like, why? Why can't I just ignore them and continue the main story? You know, every JRPG should let you do that. They're called side quests for a reason. Why do you say, in my opinion, all the time? If there's anything you know is a fact, just say it. I don't really talk a lot of facts. And I say in my opinion because apparently people can't get that in their heads. So it's like I need to remind them constantly that it's my opinion, that I'm not saying it as a fact. So I feel compelled to do that. To say, hey, I think the dungeons and the labyrinths in Shin Megami Tensei 3 suck balls. But I kinda need to say my opinion, because if I don't... I mean, didn't somebody answer you before that we live in a crystal society or something? Crystal people? I mean, if I go and say, I think the battles are slow in this game, you piss off a lot of people. So it's like you need to remind them, in my opinion. Thank you, Darth Nacho. Sad thing about 4, and you can mostly ignore side stuff outside of branching quests from main story. The world map was my biggest issue. I mean, I remember at the beginning of Shin Megami Tensei 4, you beat the first tutorial mission, you train, they give you, I don't know, you meet the characters, and then your second mission is go to the same fucking dungeon again. To do this that was like, why? Why can't I go to the next dungeon already? Exactly right, if you're forced to do it, then it's not a side quest. So I need to revisit the same dungeons over and over again and fight the same monsters and do the same bullshit just to continue with... I mean, it's just not for me, man. You should try Mega Man Battle Network 3. People tell me that's the best. Mega Man Battle Network 3, they say it's the best Mega Man Battle Network, you know. I probably will play it one day. You can ignore a lot of the side quests in Shin Megami Tensei 4 when you get to Tokyo. How long till I get to Tokyo? I don't have a favorite visual novel because I don't really like visual novels, but I like some visual novel RPGs. So my favorite will be Sakura Wars on the Wii, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure after you get through Naraku it opens up. Well, I'm just gonna follow your advice. Like first 5 hours. So I need to get 5 hours of side quests. Alright, I'll get back to that game, I promise. I really want to finish it. You got a Spanish translation recently? I play everything in English anyway. They did screw up Shin Megami Tensei 4. 5 was great, but like you said, too complicated. I didn't think it was too complicated. It's just getting from point A to point B was kind of complicated. But you know what? It's kind of the same on every Shin Megami Tensei game. Now that I think about it, you know, Apocalypse was the same. I was like running around stations and bridges and places in ruined locations, you know, and I was like, what? How do I get there? You know, how do I get to where I need to go? Nocturne was the same, especially because of the labyrinths. I was like, man, there was this character telling me, oh, trouble is brewing up on Ginza. And I go, oh, I need to go to Ginza, right? But you can't get to Ginza. Or you get to Ginza and there's nothing happening there. Oh no, you need to find this freaking tunnel in the station, whatever, that the game never tells you, and then you go down there, and you... So I think this is it's not maybe a problem, it's more like a characteristic in the Shin Megami Tensei games. Jum Razon, thanks a bunch, man. What is your opinion? My opinion, that someone posted another GBA collection video, and collectors are pissed because their prices Are you talking about Metal Jesus? He just uploaded his GBA collection video. Man, that's so unfair. He gets a lot of shit because of that. How is that his fault? I mean, blame the resellers, man. Some reseller watched that video and said, oh, Metal Jesus recommended this hidden gem, so I'm gonna up the price to 100 now, because I know people are gonna come to my store to buy it. So, nah. Blame, it's not Jason's fault at all. He gets a lot of shit because of that, and that's so unfair. I get a lot of shit because of that too, Like, hey, I remember people blaming that. You guys probably don't remember, this was a long time ago. Before I started making videos in English, nobody knew Eternal Poison, nobody gave a fuck about it. It was a $30 game, and then I started talking about it, and several months later the game was $100, and they were like, man, you shouldn't have recommended that game because it went up in price. And I was like, how is that my fault? I didn't tell you to go and pay $100 for it. Sorry, maybe I sound like a Metal Jesus fanboy. I'm not, but it's just, yeah, man. This is totally off topic, but are you following Johnny Depp trial? Oh. I think it was created as a distraction to get people's minds off the Will Smith thing drama. Hey, my favorite town theme, you got that right. It plays often in my Q&As. Or maybe it's just not the resellers. I mean, if a reseller just prices a game at $50, and then they had 3 copies, and all of a sudden in a week those 3 copies sold, it's only natural they will think about increasing the price. But it's always scalpers, raising the price on eBay or on Amazon, or eBay most specifically, and then the same reseller says, oh, I got another copy of this game that sold. I'm telling you because I used to be a reseller. So I got this game, and I just sold 3 copies of it for $50 in a month or in 2 weeks. Well, that's weird. So nowadays people think, oh, maybe some big influencer recommended the game or something, or it just got popular in social media for some reason. I remember the Legend of Dragoon happened. I want to talk about that in a bit. So it is happened. So what do? What they do is, the next time they get this game, maybe a month later, oh, remember, I got this game again, so I'm gonna put it for sale, but is it $50? Maybe not. So they go to eBay, and the freaking scalpers are now selling, because they are influencing and manipulating the market like Wata does. And so all of a sudden the game is $80. So if you're the reseller, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna price it at $80, or are you gonna price it again at $50? It's a moral decision, man. It's like a dilemma. So what do? Because if you put it at $50 again, it's gonna be, you're gonna feel like you're underselling the game, and for a fact it's a business, and you're here for the money, so you're gonna make a little bit more. Maybe the reasonable stuff will be to raise the price to $60. I don't know, but this is how it starts. People manipulate the prices on eBay, and all of a sudden all of these resellers have no choice but to increase their own prices too. I am still waiting for your RPG 3DS tier list. You're gonna have to settle down for the top 50 that I did about a month ago. Was it a month ago? The top 50 best 3DS JRPGs. It did pretty well for a top 50. Top 50s are usually slow to get views, but it did fairly well. Tier list is probably gonna be until next year. Thank you, CB Ross. Thanks a bunch. When are you going for PS5? I'll buy a PS5 when it has like 20 exclusive JRPGs that I can't play anywhere else except on the PS5, and it's like $200. If that never happens, then I'll never have a PS5. I just don't have any reason to care for the PS5, Like, what's in it for me? Why should I invest $500 on a system that it does nothing for me or my channel? Maybe I could do a top 10 best PS5 JRPGs, but I play them all on the PS4, so I don't even have to own a PS5 to do that video. It's like when people tell me about Steam. Make a Steam top 10. I don't play on Steam. Oh, you play the console versions, but I think the Steam versions might be different, and I'm not sure. For example, if I go out and say, oh, number 1, Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition, ooh, I'm gonna get a lot of shit, because the Steam version of that game sucks balls. I love Grandia. Grandia is not among my 10 favorite series. This song is 7 minutes long and it just loops. From Ictra Union. There we go again with... oh man. Ave. Ave, how do you guys pronounce that from Xenogears? Ave? Ave? I think it's Ave, right? Ave. Whatever. Nintendo is the worst for this. Artificially creating scarcity. Oh yeah, we all remember what they did with the... was it the NES Classic? They'll never get over that, man. PS5 has Gran Turismo 7 and Returnal. Well, you're a big fan of Gran Turismo 7, huh? Well, man, look. There's a bunch of JRPGs on the PS5. And I know playing them on the PS5, I mean, will be bonkers because they look more beautiful than on the PS4, right? But, well, you've seen my TV. You were here a couple of days ago. If I connect a PS5 to that TV, you know, am I going to have... I mean, you bought a 4K TV, man, Oscar, precisely for this. So you could fully experience the power of the PlayStation 5. So I'm gonna be forced to buy the PS5 and then another TV. I mean, I can do that, but you know I'm into JRPGs, so... the JRPGs, I feel like they kind of look the same. Maybe Tales of Arise looks better on the PS5. But most of the others are like, I mean, they probably look the same on the PS4. I will get a PS5 eventually, but it needs more exclusives. Like Demon Souls, it's not enough for me. You'll need a PS5 one day, absolutely. You know, this is what I do for a living. I am the guy who makes top 10s of JRPGs on consoles. So eventually I'm gonna get a PS5 and make content about... This is what happened to me with the PS Vita. I remember when I started making videos in English, everybody was giving me shit about the PS Vita. Man, you need to get a PS Vita, you need to get a PS Vita. Okay, so I got a PS Vita and I made a bunch of videos about it. And I'm grateful because I fell in love with the Vita, and I'm a die-hard fan of the Vita now. And now I have a PS TV, and I freaking love the PS TV. So there you go. Eventually I'll have a PS5. Maybe not this year. I'm not interested in Final Fantasy 16. Like, I don't care about Square Enix. You guys know that already. You guys know me. Me and Final Fantasy. We're not friends anymore. We don't care about each other anymore. Have you emulated Japan-only SNES JRPGs? A few of them, you know, that's how I played them. Well, Terranigma did come out in Europe, but that's how I played Terranigma. I played a bunch of them. I remember playing a game called... Oh, we're getting the remaster soon now, Live Alive. And I streamed it. The version that I streamed is the fan-translated Japanese version. But if you're talking about the ones that have no translation... I tried a few. I had this PS2 emulator, this pirated disc, you know, and I tried a few of them. I remember playing Love Quest. Yes, there's a game, there's a JRPG. You don't believe me? Look it up. There's a JRPG called Love Quest, and it's pretty dumb. It's probably one of the worst RPGs I've played. I think it starts off with the guy getting married with a girl, and I think the guy gets kidnapped by some guys. And then the girl needs to save, or is it the other way around? The guy needs to save her, something like that. It's just a dumbass game, but it has no translation, so it's kind of funny. The concept of exclusivity is it's dying. And developers are very well aware that they need to release their games on as many systems as possible. There's barely anything exclusive nowadays. That's a word from the past. That's a retro word. A retro term. Exclusive? What's that? Imagine kids nowadays saying, "What is an exclusive, Dad?" Well, you see, back in the PlayStation 3 era and below that, what is a PlayStation 3, Dad? Holy shit. Are you excited for Valkyria Illusion? You mean Valkyrie Elysium? Don't get my hopes up, that's Valkyria Illusion. Was that a new Valkyria Chronicles game? Don't get my hopes up, man. If you're talking about Valkyrie Elysium, no, I'm not excited. I mean, I'm curious, and I'll probably end up playing the game at some point, but excited? Have you made any videos about the Dot Hack series? I don't think so. I've included the Dot Hack series in a lot of my top 10s, but I don't think I've never made a specific video. A video specifically about the Dot Hack series alone. Maybe I will one day. Like I said, I want to start making live unscripted reviews about JRPGs, which are going to be members only. So if you guys are interested in that, click the join button in the description of this video. No, it's not in the description. It's in the next to the subscribe button, I think. And you pay $2. You pay me $2 a month. Well, I only get $1.30 because YouTube keeps 30% of that. These guys, man, But anyway, and for $1.30, maybe I'll talk about the Dot Hack series one day. The music stopped. Breath of Fire music. Which is better, the first series of Dot Hack and the second one? GU is far better in my opinion. I think the story was very interesting in the original 4 Dot Hack games. It laid the basis for GU, but I think GU is just better games. They play better, the gameplay is better, the character, everything is better in GU in my opinion. Even the music. I was guessing Microsoft for the PC Master Race. Microsoft, huh? No, even Microsoft won't be able to hold exclusive rights to most games, maybe Halo, Gears of War. Every franchise has their own exclusive. I mean, God of War is still exclusive to PlayStation, right? Nintendo has Zelda, Mario, Metroid, I think those series are always going to be exclusive. But the reality is most video games are not. Especially third-party games. Have you played Fire Emblem Three Houses? Yes, I played it a long time ago, 3 years ago. My fans sent me a Nintendo Switch, and my buddy Aina, she sent the game along with the Switch. And I love the game. I think it's excellent. I got so addicted to it that I beat it in like a week. And I fell in love with Edelgard. I mean, you've probably seen me with my Edelgard t-shirt lately in some videos, she became one of my favorite characters in the whole series. But it just doesn't quite feel like a true Fire. I know I sound like a broken record, but hey, I'm just answering this guy's question, guys. I know you're probably, here we go again, Eric saying Fire Emblem Three Houses doesn't feel like a Fire Emblem. It doesn't to me, but it's still an amazing game. Which do you prefer, Mario or Luigi? What a simple question. What a simple yet intricate and complicated question. I'm just gonna say Mario. I mean, I grew up with Mario. Sometimes we will play, me and my brother and my sister, Mario, and somebody had to play Luigi, right, on the NES era. But it was mostly me playing games, so I was mostly playing on Mario, so I have more nostalgia for Mario. What RPG you plan to play? Right now, I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I'm gonna finish Shantae. It's not an RPG, but I haven't decided yet. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person who likes to give preference to when it comes to backlog, to the games that I paid money for. Paying for something kind of makes you it puts a little bit more pressure on you. I know I can emulate whatever, from the PlayStation Vita era and below that, but I like to give preference to something that I paid for, or to something that someone gifted to me. That's what I like to do. This game is not a bad idea for my next one. Well, I think I'll probably go for God Eater 3. I want to play the God Eater games, Became a fan recently this year of the God Eater series, so probably that. Do you remember my recommendation before you make a link to the can you buy your t-shirt that says goddamn video games? What? Nobody will buy that t-shirt. It needs to say ask your goddamn questions or something. Or like fuck this game, man. I say man a lot. It's because the Big Lebowski influenced the heck out of me. Probably. Only in Japan t-shirts. I'm dying here, man. Losing my voice, guys, so last questions. Do you prefer Yuito or Shulk as a protagonist? Who is Yuito? Isn't that the guy from Scarlet Nexus? They have like the exact personality. Okay, have you ever used rainbow weapons and armors? Yes, I did. That's how I got away with certain boss fights in Chrono Cross. I eventually upgraded to different weapons, but not every character had them. I think I had a weapon for Surge, and that's it. It's kind of hard to craft rainbow weapons. But when you're playing on New Game Plus over and over, it gets easier, but on your first playthrough, it's kind of hard to find them. They're pretty useful, but I think it's better if you focus on elements and on exploiting the enemy's weakness. It's a hard game, man. Chrono Cross is a hard, man. It's a hard game, man. Do you care for DLC? No, I've never, absolutely never purchased a single DLC in my life. I've downloaded some DLCs that were free, but just out of curiosity. I think I did that on Tales of Arise. I think I downloaded the different dress for Xion, or I don't remember. Or was it Tales of Arise? I don't know. I don't care for DLC. You gonna try or did try the Final Fantasy Origins game? No, I got a review code for Steam. I don't play on Steam, but whatever. It's probably not gonna work. I got a review code and I ignored it, because Square Enix, goddammit, I asked you for a review code for Triangle Strategy and the Chrono Cross Remaster. You ignored me and you sent me a Stranger in Paradise review code. I feel like they mock me, man. Like, let's send this guy the game he doesn't care about. The game the least he cares about. I'm losing my voice. Oh, he's really interested in these other two games now. Let's troll the guy and give him the code he doesn't want. That's what I did. Do you have any recommendations for fan-translated Saturn JRPGs? I don't. Hell, I will even fight... I don't even know if I can recommend some Saturn RPGs because I've never finished a single Saturn RPG in my life. I've only played a bunch of them at my friend's house a long time ago. He had a bunch of them. He had Shining Force 3, he had Panzer Dragoon Saga, he had Albert Odyssey. No, he didn't have that one. I think he had Dragon Force, and we played every single one of them for like an hour or less. I'll never forget that day. And Oscar had the Japanese version of Magic Knight Rayearth. I'm the worst guy to talk about Sega Saturn. I don't have a Sega Saturn. And it's so hard to make a Sega Saturn emulator work on my computer. Oh, well, yeah, they should know. I play on consoles, I get a lot of review codes for Steam games, for people claiming, oh, we're huge fans of your channel. We've been following you for years. We love your content. Here's my review code for my game exclusive on Steam. Like, if you're so-called die-hard fan of this channel, you should know that I don't cover Steam games. But you know, that's what they do. What can you do? So that's it, guys. I'm out of here, but let me remind you one more time that well, remember, you'll still be able to watch my live reviews. As soon as the live stream is over, the video will be only available for members. But you know, I'm giving you a taste of the pie. You can taste it and see, I like it. You know, I'm gonna join Eric Landon. I'm gonna become a member. You know, I'm giving you free samples, man. That's how nice I am. Ain't I the nicest guy on YouTube? You know, I'm still showing you the reviews for free live. Shh, I should get an award, man. Nicest YouTube ever. No, I'm not kidding. You know, just, you know, consider it if you care. It's gonna take a while for you to care, I know. You know, you'll see the reviews. I'll make them as entertaining as I possibly can with my politically incorrect and outdated, hipster, wrong, and should be cancelled mentality. I'll be honest as usual, you know, the next video, it's gonna be about this game. This one, don't forget when, I don't know, it's gonna be random. It's gonna be random. You'll probably be on your phone and then Eric Landon RP is live talking about Earthlock. And if that happens to you, then, you know, take advantage of that situation and watch the review live. Because after the live is over, it's gonna be exclusive to members. You won't be able to watch it, man. Damn. Yeah, it's just pretty much in case you want to support this channel and support this new type of content. You know, that's what you gotta do. So I would appreciate it, you know. In all seriousness, being completely honest, you know, this is some type of content that I can't really monetize or make popular in this channel. So if you want to support it, join. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you. Oh yeah, thanks for asking about Patreon. Thanks for reminding me about that. I can't do this content on Patreon because then I will have to make the videos unlisted. And if they get unlisted, everybody with the link. I mean, let's say this evil guy. I'm gonna join Eric's Patreon just so I can use the link of these videos and post it on Reddit so everybody can watch it for free. I have no way to protecting these videos, you know, and that's unfair for the people who are actually paying for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to make this also exclusive, I mean, for patrons. I know that, you know, but right now I just can't find a way to do that, you know. So that's the reason why. But don't worry, man. I'll find a way. I really want this to be for both members and Patreons alike. You know, I really want that to happen. But right now I just don't know how to make these videos, how to protect these videos, you know, from those evil guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next